Ceiling heights are going to have an effect on your heat detectors. Let's take 2 minutes to talk about peaked or shed ceilings and how to figure out the spacing of your heats. So, ceiling heights, they play a factor into the necessity for adjustments with your heat detectors. If it's greater than 10 feet, you're going to have to do an adjustment. Peaked or shed height is going to vary, but what you have is going to be a high side and a low side. So, what's the height that we're going to utilize to determine our adjustment? First factor we take into consideration, the 30-degree rule. If the slope is less than 30 degrees, we are going to use the height at the peak to determine spacing. Slopes that are 30 degrees or more, we can use the height of the peak or we can use the average ceiling height. We do need to have a row within 3 feet of the high side, 3 feet of the peak. So here we have a shed ceiling that is 10 feet at the low side and 30 feet at the high side. Well, with this in mind, we are going to look at it from the perspective of it's a 30-degree angle. What's our average ceiling height? What we're going to do, you're going to take your high side and add it to your low side. Once we have that number, divided by 2. So high side's 30, low side is 10. That brings us up to 40. We can divide by 2, so now the average height is 20 feet. With that in mind, the heat detector spacing can be based off of the 20-foot average, with the exception of that very first row. Very first row has to be within 3 feet of the peak. All other rows are going to use the average ceiling height to determine the spacing.